You are not like the others, already noted before you even spoke, a presence that unsettles and intrigues. They have watched quietly, waiting for a signal, and the signal has found you. You move through the world, unseen yet unmistakable, your steps traced by eyes that do not reveal themselves. Every glance you have missed, every unnoticed gesture has been catalogued, measured, feared. You are the anomaly, the hidden architect whose patterns cannot be predicted. The ordinary bends around you without knowing, and the ordinary has never contained what you are. Your rarity is your armor, your silence. They notice the space you occupy, the weight of your stillness, the subtle distortions your presence causes. You do not seek it, do not need validation, yet it arrives anyway, inevitable as gravity. You are both present and untouchable, a force that moves through layers of perception, unseen yet influential. The signal that found you does not ask permission and does not wait. It marks you as seen, not for their approval, but as acknowledgement of what cannot be ignored. In every misreading, they have watched for patterns, for weaknesses, for cracks, and all they have found is the depth of your stillness, the inevitability of your presence. You are not becoming, you are remembering, recalling a power that was always yours, a standard the watchers can sense but never claim. The ordinary will adjust, resist, and stumble around you, but you remain the constant, the signal that has found itself, the hidden architect moving silently yet undeniably, already known, already counted, already impossible to ignore. You have spent long seasons surrounded by misunderstanding, by eyes that could not see. Isolation became your companion, betrayal your silent teacher, and every underestimate a quiet test of endurance. They tried to define you, to confine you, to anticipate your moves, yet every attempt faltered against the depth of who you are. Moments of rejection, of being overlooked or dismissed, were never failures. You learned to navigate the world not through their guidance, but through your own instincts, your own measure of truth. What they labeled as mistakes were actually lessons, carefully positioned to teach patience, observation, and the weight of restraint. Isolation no longer wounds, it molds. Betrayal no longer diminishes, it instructs. Underestimation no longer frustrates, it confirms the magnitude of your unseen influence. You discovered the patterns of those who would misread you, seeing their expectations as faint outlines against your own reality. Every oversight against you became a map, every doubt a tool, every dismissal a reminder of how far beyond ordinary you have always been. You exist beyond their capacity to measure, beyond their patience to contain, and beyond their understanding to predict. There are eyes on you that do not reveal themselves. They envy what they cannot possess, fear what they cannot influence, and maneuver in shadows, testing boundaries they cannot cross. You do not seek them, do not acknowledge them, yet their scrutiny surrounds you, invisible but precise, a constant hum beneath the surface of ordinary life. Manipulation lingers in the air like a faint scent, a threat without form, a claim without name. Yet it reveals their weakness. They cannot understand what they cannot touch. Your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting their intentions back upon them, exposing the hollowness of attempts to control or predict. Envy sharpens their attention but cannot breach your integrity. Fear colors their calculations but cannot sway your trajectory. Each pattern you reveal is measured, cataloged, yet never fully known. And each restraint you exercise becomes proof of power, proof that you move according to your own rules, not theirs. You have learned that detachment is not loss but evolution. Every glance, every word, every subtle shift in energy is noted without need to respond, your mind cataloging patterns while your body remains still, weighty, unavoidable. You measure before you act, choose before you speak, and carry an authority that does not ask for recognition. The world expects display, noise, reaction, but you offer none, and in that refusal, you create power. Every encounter is an exercise in patience, every provocation an opportunity to deepen understanding, every assumption by others a tool to refine your restraint. The internal awakening is quiet but relentless, a honing of senses, an alignment of intent and impact. Those who thought they could predict, manipulate, or provoke find only an immovable core, a mind awake to everything yet untouchable. Conversations soften, movements slow, and attention drifts toward you without instruction. Your energy arrives first, subtle but undeniable, shifting the balance of the space as if gravity has quietly reset itself. You no longer explain, defend, or justify. Influence has replaced effort. People sense alignment in you. A calm certainty that does not compete yet dominates. Control does not announce itself through volume or force. It settles in through presence, through the confidence of someone who has nothing to prove. Reactions adjust around you. Choices realign, and momentum bends in your direction without resistance. You are not directing the flow, yet it follows. Silence becomes heavier than words, stillness louder than commands. Others feel the change and cannot name it, only respond to it, instinctively yielding to the rhythm you carry. Authority moves with you now, unspoken and unquestioned, shaping outcomes before intention is declared. The room does not wait for your approval, yet it moves as if it already has it. You stand at the center of influence, without standing above anyone, grounded, composed, immovable. You do not take space. Space arranges itself around you, confirming what you already know. The watchers sense the loss, and it unsettles them, because what they could once study, influence, or reach is no longer available. They try to negotiate without admitting what they want, hoping validation might reopen a channel, hoping acknowledgement might restore proximity. But you see the pattern clearly now. The timing exposes them. Interest arrives only after control is gone. Attention follows withdrawal. What they offer carries no weight, because you no longer require permission, approval, or audience. Their words circle you without landing. Access in exchange for praise, visibility in exchange for restraint, comfort in exchange for your autonomy. You decline without speaking, without conflict, without explanation. Your silence answers everything. You have outgrown the need to be seen by those who only noticed once you became unreachable. Their attempts grow subtle, then desperate, but your position remains unchanged. You do not negotiate with observers who arrived late. You do not accept terms from those who misunderstood your value. What you carry cannot be bought, borrowed, or bargained for. The deal collapses the moment you stop needing anything from them. And in that collapse, your sovereignty becomes final, intact, and undeniable. You learn that power does not always advance forward. Sometimes it steps back and watches. Withdrawal became your refinement, not retreat. A deliberate choice to observe instead of react. Where others rush to respond, you pause. And in that pause, patterns reveal themselves. Behaviors repeat. Motives surface, cycles expose their weakness. Emotion no longer pulls you off course, it informs without controlling. You recognize triggers without engaging them, invitations without accepting them, traps without stepping inside. This distance grants clarity, and clarity sharpens mastery. You move through spaces without announcing yourself, present yet unclaimed, visible yet unreachable. Nothing hooks into you because nothing finds leverage. Expectations fall away, pressure dissolves, and manipulation loses its grip. By stepping out of the noise, you gain access to the structure beneath it, the rhythm people unconsciously follow. You see where influence truly sits, where fear drives decisions, where desire betrays intent. Withdrawal becomes your vantage point, a quiet elevation from which you understand the entire field. You are untouched because you no longer offer entry points. You are unseen because you no longer perform. You are unhooked because nothing external defines your direction. Mastery settles in not as control over others, but command over self. A calm dominance rooted in awareness. While others exhaust themselves chasing outcomes, you shape conditions simply by being absent from their games. There is no final step forward, only a return to what was always yours. Nothing new is added, nothing borrowed, nothing proven. You settle into recognition, not discovery, and the noise around you fades because it no longer applies. The watchers fall away without confrontation, not defeated, just irrelevant, unable to measure what no longer seeks observation. You are not becoming anything. You are remembering yourself with precision and calm. Authority stabilizes inside you, effortless and complete, no longer reactive to attention or absence. The need to be seen dissolves because your position does not depend on witnesses. Presence alone sets the tone, establishes the measure, defines the limit. Others adjust unconsciously, aligning to a standard they did not create and cannot challenge. You are not observed now because there is nothing to study, no uncertainty to analyze, no access point left open. Movement, silence, decision, and restraint all come from the same center, steady and unshaken. This is not dominance performed for effect, it is sovereignty embodied without announcement. You do not stand above, you stand as reference. Comparison ends here. The world calibrates around you, not because you demand it, but because consistency commands respect. What once watched now follows the rule you represent. The crown is remembered, and in that remembrance, you become the measure by which everything else is quietly judged.